Hello, hello, friends. I hope that you're all having a good day today, and welcome back to my stream. And Kit Kat is joining us tonight, and she's adorable as ever. And tonight, I'm going to be doing an art stream, and I'm like really freaking excited about it. So yeah, how was everyone's days? I hope that you guys have been having a happy Friday so far. I know that I've been working a lot on a lot of my art today, so that feels pretty freaking cool. Like the title of the stream says, I am going to be working on a Fallout tarot card deck idea that I've had for a little bit now, and I haven't gone like a whole lot done on this idea, like not a whole lot at all. Like I'm in the very early parts of the planning of it. And I even have in my journal like what all the different tarot cards mean and what cryptids and beasts I think go for each of the tarot cards. And so I haven't streamed this yet at all. This is my first time streaming for this type of art project, and it's what's calling me the most right now. So I figured we'll get started on stream today. I don't have a whole lot of it, I'm gonna be honest. I like have the planning, right? And I have some of the layout of it in on my iPad. But we don't have a whole lot of the like crystal clear idea yet of what the art style is gonna be. So that's what I'm gonna be working on, is kind of sketching out all the different cryptids and beasts, but then also trying to figure out more so what my art style is going to be with this, because I don't really know yet. I want it to definitely have some like gilded edges, you know, but I also want to be able to make use of stuff that could maybe look like it's watercolor. Also, maybe it could look like it's like ink, you know, watercolor and ink. Maybe it could also look like it has some type of like pencil sketching elements. I don't really know. I'm gonna see how this idea wants to form, I guess, as I go along. So that's what the stream tonight is gonna be. Hey, Mikey Poo, hello, welcome in. How's your Friday? Are you having a good day? I'm so excited to be doing another art stream. And this idea is, dude, this idea, it like I got it like maybe a few weeks ago, and I started messaging some of my friends who I know like are into tarot cards and stuff, and because I'm into it, of course, but I don't know a whole lot about a lot of the meanings behind it, you know? And I certainly don't know a lot of the history of it, but I do think that they're really beautiful. And so I got this idea of being like, oh my God, what if there was a Fallout tarot card deck, but specifically for cryptids and beasts, you know? Like specifically the animals and the creatures of Fallout. And I was like, holy crap, like that sounds so freaking cool. So that's what we're doing. And I'll show the part of my planning again is that I have like several pages of this. It goes on and on. I'm starting with the major arcana, but then I'm going to go into all the rest of the cards. The pages still keep going. There's the end of it. This is a lot of planning. This is about how far I am with this idea. The drawing has yet to start. You like this idea? You like this idea? My goodness, dude, I know, right? It's a whole lot, and I'm so excited. But yeah, I guess I'm gonna start getting my iPad connected. But in the meantime, I'm also going through the process of just like unrelated to this. I'm going through a process of painting my truck recently, and so that's what I've been doing a lot today. If I haven't been working on this project, I've been working on another project, which is painting my truck because I didn't like the color that it was before, and now I've got some truck bed liner that I'm like rolling on, like a roll-on truck bed liner. I'm doing all this prep work to do the second coat tomorrow, and so that's been my day. It's a good day. It is beautiful outside to be doing such a thing, but I'm like a teensy bit tired, and also like I want to do some art stuffs instead of just like a bunch of prep work for painting that truck. Never actually played Fallout, but you've played TES. Why am I blanking on what TES stands for? I'm so bad at recalling random like acronyms for things. Can you remind me, what is TES? Elder Scrolls, of course. Okay, I know that. I just brain fart. Have you at least watched this show? Nope. And then okay, so that's totally fine. Like I think that if you're here because you're wanting to watch some art streams, like it's still gonna be fun and enjoyable for that, you know. And but you've played TES, so you're familiar with Bethesda and stuff. Oh my gosh, Kit Kat is trying to lick her back right now, and it's adorable. I love that girl so much. What kind of truck do you have? I have an F-150, and so it's a bigger truck. Not the biggest truck, but like a bigger size truck, and so it's a lot to sand and prep all of it. I already have the first coat done, and I had that done like months ago, but now I'm going through and I'm like, I just went and sanded some like imperfections. Oh, thank you, Chad, for redeeming Get Hydrated. Thank you. I have my water tonight, and I also have some tea. It's like a special kind of tea. It's meant for helping the joints. I forget what ingredients it has in it, but it has like peppercorn and nettle at least, and a few others. It's pretty interesting. So Morrowind was what got you hooked on that series, on the Elder Scrolls series. Nice. I have played some of Skyrim and some of like the Elder Scrolls series too. I played a lot of Elder Scrolls Online, which a lot of people, it gets a lot of flack for reasons that I can understand. But that's what I have played a lot. But I've seen a lot of other like streamers and friends play the rest of the Elder Scrolls games, and so I'm familiar enough with it because of that. You love the kitty. Yeah, she's so adorable. I just did the math recently. I've had her for 10 years. That sometime right around like last week, like end of March, right around that time was our 10-year, like 10 years since her gotcha day. Like, I don't know how old she is, but I got her as an adult cat, and I've had her personally for 10 years now. And she's just incredible. She's so beautiful, and she's got so much attitude, and I love it. See, let me see if I can move that so we can see her a little bit better. That's just about as far as my table will go. But yeah, her name is Kit Kat, and I love the face that she's giving right now. Oh, okay, now she's going back to licking and grooming herself. Is that art behind you your own? No, not the stuff behind me right now. Let's see. It'll be difficult to see a lot of it, but right here, this bottom one is of a death claw that my friend Metra, sorry, I was blanking on her name. She goes by Metra at Wasteland. She painted this. It's meant to be a patch, but I really liked it just to hang it on the wall. This one I also got as barter at Wasteland. I forget who gave that to me. Let's see. Let me go over here. There's also, where is it? Right here. This one is from a cool artist that is, I forget her title or handle on Instagram, but I saw her at an art expo out in Sacramento, and she does some pretty cool stuff. Also this, which side is it? Where is it? There it is. This one right here that I'm pointing at now. I got that one at Wastelands. Is like one of my very first barters at an introvert barter shelf, which for those that have been to Wasteland, you're probably familiar with. I think it's in front of the Last Rites tribe. For those that aren't familiar with Wasteland, one of the tribes that was out in like kind of near Main Street, they have a shelf that is introvert friendly barter. And I found this painting, where is it? There. This painting on that shelf for the introvert barter, and I immediately was like, oh my gosh, like heck yeah, I need that. And so the rules of that is like, you see something you like, you barter for it by putting something of your own there in its place. And I thought that one was amazing. It says it's got a cat. It's on it, and it says The Strange Ones, and I think it's so pretty. And then this one right here? I forget the artist that made this one, but when I was doing cosplay, I used to go to cons and find artists that were doing commissions at the cons, and asking them if they could draw me while I was in costume. And so this is one of them, specifically of a post-apocalyptic Belle from Beauty and the Beast cosplay that I did. And the original design for that concept was made by Tess Fowler. I remember that artist's name. I don't remember the artist that drew this, though. But that's what that is me in cosplay at a con. And this person made it with all the craziness that was going on at the con. And which always just impresses me whenever artists are taking commissions at a convention. I appreciate it as someone who is searching for that, right? But as an artist, granted I've never worked at a booth, but as an artist, that seems so daunting to me. I don't know why, and I'm like impressed by how they even managed to like run their booth and also take commissions and then like get them out by the end of the con. It blew me away, and so that's one of them right there. But great name for Kit Kat, yeah. I love it. I love her name too. And Kit Kat candy bars are also really great. But I got the idea for her name because she's got kind of like a split face. One side's gray and the other side is beige. And for some reason, I thought of like you break apart a Kit Kat bar, and then it just stuck. And now her name is just Kit Kat. And so yeah, that's not the name that the shelter had for her when I first got her. That's the name that she took to herself, I guess. So yeah, thank you. I think she likes the name too. She definitely knows her name. Doing art live is hard for you. Oh yeah, are you also an artist? What kind of mediums do you work with if you are an artist? Because if you are, that's pretty cool. Musician, oh, okay, nice. Also still an artist. Piano, nice. I know like a tiny bit of piano. I grew up, I grew up in bands in elementary and middle school, and I was primarily a flute player, but I got to be familiar with piano because like piano and flute are in the same key. And so using that to try and tune my flute and all that. And it's also just for funsies, trying to see if I could learn a little piano. Eventually I want to learn how to like actually play piano. Be really cool. Also violin. Dude, I want to learn how to play violin so bad. That'd be so freaking cool. But that's awesome that you're a musician. I love that. I think that music is so necessary. Like it does so much to the brain, you know, and yeah. More people should play music, in my opinion. All right, so I got my iPad all set up for doing some art stuff. Next, I'm gonna try a new thing on my channel with doing these art streams, and I'm wanting to play some music in the background. And I've already looked up, this is all music that is safe for me to stream, because like, you know, copyright rules and such. So we're gonna kind of like give this a go with playing some new music while I'm doing art stuff, because it was some really good feedback that I got from my first art stream, that like when there's kind of moments where things are a little bit quiet, you know, there's not really a whole lot to talk about, it could be nice to having some type of interesting music playing in the background. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna give it a go. And feel free if you guys want to comment on the music that I'm playing, because yeah, that's just gonna be something that we're messing around with. But yeah, let me go ahead and adjust the audio, and then along with this, let me know, this goes for anyone in chat, let me know if my audio seems like a teensy tiny bit off at any point, and if like it would be better if I adjusted things a little bit more. Please feel free to let me know if that ends up being the case. Duets with violins and pianos are your favorite. I know, right? Also, gonna throw this out there for my fellow metalheads. Symphonic metal is incredible. Any song, like even if that's not what the band typically does, but just taking like one song and adding violin or some type of symphonic just element, some type of like orchestra into the song is some of my favorite music ever. Like I love it. Metal and orchestra together are incredible, and it's just like one of my it's something that like it immediately catches like my attention if I hear something new that I haven't heard before that fits that bill, because that's the type of stuff that like I think would be so cool. Like in a different timeline, in a different universe, maybe I learn how to play violin and do that, because holy crap, that would be so freaking cool. But yeah, just in general, just even hearing like what people make now with it is just so, oh my god, I love it so much. You have to agree with me that adding symphonic elements really makes music compelling. Yes, absolutely. Like it adds a whole nother layer to it. Like there's some really cool things that can happen when adding those two things together. All right, so let me see. I got iPad, I got music, I got all the things. I think I'm ready. All right, cool. Let me go ahead and get this set up. And also a part of me figuring things out here is the fact that this is only my second art stream now, so I'm still figuring out a couple things with doing the art stuff, especially with sharing my iPad screen. So to start tonight's stream with my tarot card deck idea, I first went in and I created this frame, and I might add on to this in time. I don't really entirely know for sure. For now, I'm liking it. And the canvas is a bit, where is this? Bit wider than what the tarot card actually will be when it's done, but I made it this way so that way it like works better when trying to post it onto the socials, ye old socials. But the actual tarot cards themselves are going to be narrower. And my idea with this is that with the Fallout cryptids, I'm kind of wanting it to feel like it's like kind of like a cryptid hunter type of vibe. So I have like, I used a Polaroid photo as the base to create this. And I wanted it to look torn and all that, 'cause, you know, like Wasteland, Fallout, makes sense, right? And I kind of have some ideas for how I'm going to build off of this, but for starters, I want all the cards to have this as the base or as the frame for it to kind of keep them all looking similar. And then from there, I went and I got a bunch of reference photos, and this doesn't show any of it here. This is just a giant like copy paste, yield copy pasta of the same file over and over again, but each one has a reference photo in it for me to be able to take a look at and draw the thing. And draw whatever creature it is. And so that's about how much I have so far. But I did get started on the Flatwoods monster, just starting to sketch this guy up. And so this just kind of, this is where I'm at right now. There's not a whole lot that I've done in terms of the art making of it, but I've set things up so that way we can keep going with it. Yeah, let me see. I think I kind of want to do, I guess I could keep working on the Flatwoods monster. Did I go to school for art? I did go to school for art, yeah. I have 2 degrees, one in video game design and development, and then the other one is in fine arts. Oops, I didn't mean to click on that one. So yeah, I went to school for art. I'll be honest, I haven't made a whole lot of art in the recent years, but I've been trying to get back into it because I know that I like it so much, and I just keep like kind of pushing it off, you know, being like, oh, eventually, like I have this cool idea and I'm gonna work on it eventually, you know. And I got a lot of like, what is it, the anxiety about starting a project of like, oh my gosh, I have this like really cool idea, but then like it just sits and sits and sits, and then I don't really do anything with it for a while. So I'm trying to break through that, and these streams really help me to break through that, to realize like, oh, okay, like no, I want to be able to do like art streams, which you're saying like perfect qualifications for Twitch, yeah. And so it's like, I want to be able to do like these art streams. That'd be so freaking cool. And so like then realizing like, oh, okay, well, if I'm doing these art streams, then that will help push me and help motivate me, right, to get back into doing my art stuff. Because I got so many freaking cool ideas that they just are living in my brain, and they need to get out of my brain. And I need to start creating them because I love these ideas so freaking much. And this tarot card deck idea is one of them that I started, like, once the idea popped into my head, I couldn't stop thinking about it, and I had to go and create what I was showing you guys on screen earlier. Let's see, where to go? All the different tarot card meanings for both upright and reversed, right? And then what the beast is that I think goes to that card. And I think I made this over the like course of like 3 or 4 days, something like that, to like start to end with like identifying all the different cryptids that it would be. And so I got so excited about it. It was like, yes, like this idea needs to exist in the world, and like what better way than to bring it to life myself? Because like it's not going to go anywhere unless I do something with it, you know? You like my passion? Thank you. Dude, I have lots of really cool ideas that like I just really want to work on and keep making. I want them to exist in the world, you know? It's like I don't want them to just be ideas that live on in my head. They deserve to see the light of day. So thank you. I appreciate it. And also with the beasts that I'm gonna kind of start with, not that the beasts that I'm gonna start with, I'm purposefully gonna start with ones that feel a little bit easier to draw for me, and then kind of work my way into some of the other ones and see what comes of it. Because like part of me wanted to start strong and go straight for my beloved Deathclaw over here, which for those that don't know, Fallout, this is the Deathclaw here. And listen, I love the Deathclaws so much. You'll learn that very quickly. I'm obsessed with Deathclaws. I have I've cosplayed as a Deathclaw before, and I've made an armor, like a bigger and better armor design concept of the Deathclaw. I was showing that with my last art stream like 2 weeks ago for those that were here for that one. It just is so, I don't know, I've always loved this beast, and I wanted to, part of me was like, oh, maybe I should start there, you know, with the tarot card idea, but I was like, no, hold off. I'm gonna start elsewhere, so that way by the time that I am feeling a little bit more comfortable with like what the art style of this whole series is gonna look like, then I'll be able to do the Deathclaw justice. Not that the Flatwoods monster and like other cryptids aren't gonna have that same level of care to them, you know, but hopefully that makes sense, right? You want to do it justice when it's time to draw it. Yes, exactly. My ideas deserve to see the light of day is a good mindset to have. Yeah, right? Exactly. I think that that's such a good way to go about it too, is that it's just like these ideas are really cool and they should exist out there. And not even saying like that it's gonna be something that a lot of other people like. Maybe people will like it too, probably because I like it, right? So the fact that I alone like something means that there's other people in this world that will also like said thing. But at the core of it, it's like I want to make this. I feel that creative pull, and I need to do something about it. And so art streams all the way. And also, I think I was announcing, I was mentioning it in a previous stream earlier this week, is that I am going to be trying to aim to do these art streams almost every week. I'm going to aim for every Friday, like around the same time right now, to be doing these, because I think that that's a good push. And kind of normal, like with my, or kind of along the same lines as my regular like gaming type streams, is that if I am not feeling it on a certain day, then I'm not going to stream. But otherwise, for the most part, you can expect that on Fridays, I'm going to be doing art streams. Anything you can be interested in, you'll find others. Yes. Is that how I said it, or is that a quote from something? Because I know that other people have said it before. Like, I know that it's not just like a me quote. It's a quote from Alan Watts. That's what I thought. All right, cool. Anything you can be interested in, you'll find others. So, Yeah, and so I just think this is gonna be so cool. Like, imagine this whole, there's like 70 something cards, I think, in a full tarot deck. I think 20 something of them are the major arcana. And I'm gonna start with the major arcana, but like, dude, how cool would it be if this turns into an actual full deck of cryptids and beasts and all that? I think that it'd just be so cool to see it at the end. And who knows, like maybe even I can make prints of some of it too. That's kind of something else that I've thought about. Is that it's like yes, tarot, like full card deck, but also like some of these might just look cool as just a poster to hang up on a wall, you know? So I'm curious to see what it ends up looking like. I feel like I've got this guy's glove decently there. It's there enough. Oh, I think I hear someone at my door. So I'm gonna pause stream real quick and I'm gonna go see who is at the door, and I will be right back. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that, everyone. I am back. It wasn't actually someone at my door. It was my dogs ringing the bell that is on the door. But they don't actually need to go outside. They were wrestling right next to it. That's just right in front of the front door was where they chose to wrestle. But they're fine. They just went and like ran elsewhere in the house to go wrestle. So that's what that was about. You do love your video game posters, right? Dude, there's a lot of really cool video game posters. I gotta get more stuff up in my office. And even the art that you guys see behind me, even that is just like only a tiny bit of the art that I have in this office. I have more out this way. And I also have art on the wall that I'm looking at behind all my computer screens and all that. But I love my video game posters too. What's your favorite game out of the TES series? You know, probably Oblivion. That was their best, in your opinion. Skyrim was great, but there was just something about Oblivion. Oblivion was a perfect middle between streamlined and deep. Agreed, and you loved the story. Oh, nice. Heck yeah. I have not... I guess I don't know a whole lot about Oblivion specifically. If the teensy tiny bit of Elder Scrolls that I've played, other than Elder Scrolls Online, is Skyrim for me personally. But I've heard lots of good things about Oblivion too. I've heard good things about the whole series. Just like anything that Bethesda does, a lot of it they go in depth with the world building and I think the world building is really freaking cool in all the Elder Scrolls that I've seen. Oops. Oh, did I do a mark? I did do a mark there. Alright. Wow, I like this song. This song feels like we're about to go into a boss fight. Kind of makes sense given that I'm drawing beasts and cryptids. What the heck is that thing? Oh, those are thrusters for the Flatwoods monster, I see. Interesting. Okay. You own all the Fallouts, just never played. You gotta fix that. Dude, I also own all the Fallouts too, like all of them. And I've never played, like, what is it? There's Fallout 1 and 2. Is Fallout Tactics one of the video games, or am I thinking of the board game? I know there's 1 and 2, 3, right? And then New Vegas, 4, and 76. And I also, like, I've played some of New Vegas. I haven't actually played a whole lot of Fallout 3 or New Vegas, as much as someone who's Fallout obsessed. But I have watched, like, the playthroughs of it online, like on YouTube and stuff. And so I know it through that way of watching other people play it, and particularly from when I'm, like, crafting and stuff. It's stuff that I like to put on in the background. I played a lot of 4 and 76 personally. 1 and 2 are very different than the rest of the series. 1 and 2 are a 3/4 top-down turn-based RPG. Oh, really? I didn't know that about those ones. Still an amazing game. I know that, yeah, Chad, I know that you've mentioned that's, what is it? That was your introduction into Fallout, obviously, because they're the initial ones, right? But those ones were ones that you played a lot when you're growing up. There's Fallout Tactics, but that was an RTS they tried making. Okay, I see. So that's where my brain, I started to think about it when I was trying to list all the different games. But yeah, just like Mikey, I have all of them, but I have not played all of them. Played the heck out of 4. That is my favorite one. I think that one I've done all of the different endings. I've definitely done all the different endings in that one. I don't even know how many hours I put into it. Oh, this is kind of not to the right scale. Oh, I've kind of shifted. Let me undo all of this. I've kind of shifted a lot of what's going on here. Let's see if I can make it. Let's see what we can do here to bring it back to what this guy is kind of actually more so looking like. So far, I'm liking all of these songs that this playlist has given me. You know, I think I'm gonna have the sleeve overlap a little bit more. Instead of reworking my lines, I'm just gonna do this because I'll add some creative liberty to it. Kind of the right, and then what's going on with this shape? Oops, that's not what I wanted. Kind of doing something like this. I'm gonna assume that it kind of does like a something. Let's see. Gotta get closer to this and sketch out what I'm thinking it's trying to do. Something like this. Bring it down. Yeah, I think this looks about right. And then this will be darker. Okay. Yeah. That's enough of a sketch to get me started, I think. Different studio for the first two as well. Really? For Fallout 1 and 2? I think I knew that, but I guess I didn't fully recall all that, or like all that went into that, or like why. But now that you mention it, I think that I have actually heard that. Did you get into the base building in 4? I got into like building a lot of the settlements and stuff. Is that what you mean by the base building? I hardly ever used the mods in 4 until like I think after I had beat it a couple of times. But I did get very into making like the settlements look pretty and all that, and making everything flow smoothly. I played that, dude, I played Fallout 4 so much. I think I already knew that I liked Fallout before playing that one. But it wasn't until playing that game that like I really got into it, because it was at like you know, where it's like just the right moment in your life to get very into this like this thing that you know that you'll like, right? Like growing up, I always knew that I liked stuff that was post-apocalyptic. I liked the Mad Max movies. I liked anything that had that wasteland vibe. And I just hadn't gotten into playing Fallout until that time in my life, and then I just went like deep into Fallout. Does Fallout have deep lore comparable to TS, or is it more contained? I would say it's got deep lore, absolutely. I would say comparable to Elder Scrolls, yeah. From what I know personally about the Elder Scrolls lore, I think that it's as as much deep lore as Elder Scrolls. Even I don't know a whole lot of the Fallout lore either, because it gets intense, and like there's so much to it. Like I think my answer is yes, that it does have deep lore like that. Yeah, cool, you're a sucker for lore. Well, if that's the case, you might like there's a YouTuber that I have liked to watch his videos of pretty often, because you're able to get a lot of the lore right while being able to do other things, and so I used it a lot when I was doing a lot of cosplay. His channel is Oxhorn. So if you're wanting to learn more about the Fallout lore without really having the time to be able to spend playing all the Fallout games, you know, even though you have all the Fallout games, if you just don't have the time to get around to it, you might want to check out his channel, because I loved those videos so much. It was just so easy to be able to like throw it on in the background while I'm trying to do stuff and still feel like I'm learning a lot more about this game, and like feeling like I'm actually kind of playing it in a sort of way, you know, like having the understanding of what it is that's going on in the game, and like what the references are that people make to it, and that's that type of stuff. His stuff is really cool, and he gets really, if you like lore, he goes deep on the lore, and there's like full breakdowns of very like nuanced things in Fallout. Like he's got everything, it seems. Wow, he makes long videos. Yep, he does. So if you're a sucker for lore and you want to learn about Fallout, dude, check him out. Because also, like, same here with the liking the lore so much, and there's only so much that you can do, right, with like trying to play the game yourself, and like maybe you got adult time, like adult schedule, you know, and so like you just can't play as many video games as like maybe you once were able to, and so being able to watch those videos instead have been really nice for me to still feel like I'm learning about this thing that I already know that I'm obsessed with. Let's see. I'll do something like that. How does this, what's going on with this guy's? It looks like it's kind of his, like he doesn't have legs. He's just a floating entity, but he's got kind of like a cone shape thing going on, and it's got the thrusters and all the mist. So I'm wondering, whenever I start turning this into the tarot card, I wonder if I want to kind of mess with like having like wisps of smoke. Pretend that's smoke. That looks so terrible, but pretend that that's smoke for now. I think I want to go like outside of the frame with it. Because it doesn't really make sense for the smoke to be up by his head. Definitely will have like the wisps of smoke come out from this way and all around. I'm gonna play with that idea and see what I end up wanting to do with it. Because even though I have this frame, right, for the tarot card, I don't want each cryptid to be contained into it. Like, they'll kind of be contained, but they kind of won't. Like, I'm thinking that maybe there's going to be some, like, background stuff, right? And that's going to stay within the containment of this. But then the cryptid will be escaping the frame, like how his head is sticking out of the frame there. And give it kind of a three-dimensional look. I think that's, yeah. That's where I'm going with it for now. I think that's gonna look really cool. And I'm kind of thinking, like, I want each card to say what the card is, right? So that way you know by looking at it what the actual, like, tarot card meaning is. Which for the Flatwoods monster, a Flatwoods monster I have as the Empress. So somewhere I would be writing the Empress and then Flatwoods monster probably down here. It's like Empress. And then Flatwoods monster. I think that's what I want to do. Yeah. You like it? Have them popping out? Yeah, right? I think that that's going to give it a really cool look. Because then also with having this frame, in which this frame too is, the opacity is down for the sake of my drawing of it. The frame will be much more noticeable whenever it's all done, but for right now I'm keeping it the opacity down, so that way I focus on the sketch first and then figure out how it'll work with the frame and like what look I want it to give for this specific card. And I'm kind of thinking, I really like, so anytime I've made a lot of, anytime I've worked on drawing, I've done some digital art, but a lot of my background has been in pencil and charcoal drawings. And so I kind of want to add that type of element to it, even though it's digital. Let's see. So I wonder how I'm going to end up doing that. Because I also kind of want some type of, I want it to be, oh, there's a dog in my lap now. I want it to still look, at times I want it to look like there's ink and charcoal, or sorry, ink and watercolor. But I don't want to sacrifice on this type of charcoal drawing effect to it. So I wonder how I'm going to end up doing that, but it'll come to me eventually, I think. We got this this thing. Am I getting the chest right? Feels like it's mostly right. Arm there, and then maybe there'll be this port here. Yeah, I think that that makes sense. And we'll do something like that right there. Ish. And then with these cards too, I want it to have, oh. I'm gonna switch my screen on over so you guys can see, oh, wrong, this one. So that way you guys can see one of the dogs. This is a foster dog that we have, so he's only been with us for a week now. But his name is Olaf, and he's a very sweet boy, but he's also very much a lap dog, which I haven't had a lap dog before. And so it's a little bit of an adjustment. I'm so used to having big dogs, like 60-pound, 70-pound dogs, which sometimes the dogs that I've had, they too think that they are lap dogs. But now I actually have a dog that's like actually supposed to be, like he's actually a lap dog size. And so he's coming in to say hi today. And surprisingly, he does really well with the cats. At first I was concerned. Baby, he's so small. I know, right? He's so tiny. I think he's 10 pounds. Yeah. Oh, you got it, buddy. Oh, you don't got it? I think he's gonna figure out where it is that he wants to go. But I just wanted to show you guys just briefly. Oh, are you stuck? You're acting like you're a little stuck. Oh, here. Let me pick you up and put you right here. Is that a little bit better? Yeah. Okay. Alright. So yeah. So he's just a little itty bitty baby. Let's see. With Flatwood's monster here. Oh, right. I was working on this part. I was trying to get the lines just right. So this will serve as the starting point for whenever I get into making it actually all arted up. But yeah, anyone else in chat that has fostered animals before? I've done a lot of animal fostering throughout my life. And I've only just recently started getting into dog fostering. I've done a lot of kitten fostering, in particular fostering neonatal kittens. And so I have a lot of experience with that, and even including like sick kittens too, and doing that type of fostering, which is a little bit different from having an adult dog in my house. And so it's been really nice. Like, it's a lot less work than fostering kittens, and it's really nice for that. And he's such a sweet boy. You did fostering for a few years? Oh, nice. I think that you've told me about some of it. That's awesome. And you're fostering a kitty right now? Oh, dude, that's so cool. Is it an adult cat or a kitten? No matter what, either way, that's awesome that you're fostering too. Like, I think that if you have the means to be able to do it, it's so fun. And I think that a lot of people, oh, that's amazing to everyone who fosters. Oh, heck yeah. Thank you, Bahala. Again, if you have like the means to be able to do so, which I totally get, like, not a lot of people have the ability to be able to do so, but to be in a like fortunate enough place where I can foster, and for those that have that same like ability to be able to foster, is so, like, it can be so cool. And it's so nice, like, being able to help out in that way. And it's also helping out my animals too. So like, I have my one dog who, she has her friends, right, and her cousins that she gets to see, but she's been really enjoying having a foster dog here, because then it gives her someone to play with, and it also helps socialize her to having someone else, some other animal in our space. And so she's been liking it too. Which at first I was like kind of concerned, you know. She's a German Shepherd Pit mix, and not that those breeds mean any sort of, you know, particular like trouble, but it was something that I was still a little bit concerned with, of being like, oh, like how would she handle having another dog in our house, right? Having a new dog we're fostering, like how would she handle such a thing? And so I took some precautions, right, of course, and I was blown away that she's done such a great job with like teaching him how we do things here, and she's just taken to it. She likes him, and I think that she's going to be really great at being a foster sister, with all the dogs that we end up fostering now that I've finally got started with it. Once you get out of a studio and have a yard, you love to foster dogs. Foster fail, you're sure of it. Dude, I'm rooting for you. One day when you don't have a studio and you can have a yard, I'm rooting for you. I also know that Valhalla has her own pup, and your pup is so cute, and I think that you would be a great foster mama. So proud of Baby V. What a great big sister. Oh, I know, right? She's killing it with being, I think she's 70 pounds or something, somewhere right around there, and this little guy is 10 pounds, and she's been around puppies before, but I wasn't sure like what she would do with being around a dog that is puppy size but is not playing like a puppy, if that makes sense. You know, like how puppies, they kind of oh, you gotta go. Have a good stream. Thank you so much, and thank you for hanging out. I hope that you have a good rest of your night. Thank you for hanging out, Mikey. What was I just saying? With Violet, I wasn't sure how she would react with having a dog that is puppy size but isn't playing like a puppy. And you can't really, you know how like sometimes puppies, you feel like they're kind of like they're like part liquid, it seems like they just, I don't know, they just sprawl out on the floor, and you're like, where are your bones? And like they just like tumble and do all sorts of crazy things, and you're like, are you okay? And they're like, oh yeah, I'm fine. And that's just how it goes with having a puppy sometimes. And so I wasn't sure how she would handle it with having an adult dog who is that same size but is very much like not a puppy. You actually laugh out loud at puppies are part liquid. They are though, right? Like they seem like they are part liquid. It's insane. And also kittens are like that too. Almost any baby animal, I feel like they just, it's so, I don't, it's so crazy the way that like puppies and kittens, they'll just like fall face first and completely just tumble and like eat shit, you know, and they'll just bounce back from it like it was nothing. And so with this guy being that same size, I was curious how they would learn how to play together, because Violet was very much oh, also this song is interesting. Sorry, I'm hearing it in the background. I like it though. Violet was wanting to initiate play with this guy, but this guy Olaf here, he knew that she could probably hurt him, and so I feel like he was hesitant to her playing at first, which is also good for her to learn, right? That she can invite someone to play, and that doesn't mean that they have to play with her, and so she's really good about that. And so she did a fantastic job with being very gentle with him, being very slow, and just waiting to see, inviting him to play and then seeing how he responds to it, and if he does want to play or if he doesn't want to play. And she killed it with that. She was so gentle with him, and then now that we've had him for a week, I feel like he's opened up to her a whole lot more, with realizing that yes, she can play rough, but she also has the foresight to know that she could hurt him, and so she what is it? She like pulls, what is it? She pulls back on her playing. There's other words I'm trying to think of, but I'm blanking on them. But she doesn't go as hard because she knows that she could hurt him, and so that's been really awesome to see, and also been really great for him too, to realize that he can be in charge of how the play is going about. Like, he does, just because like she's a big dog doesn't mean that he's gonna get bullied into playing, right? So he's been realizing that and being like, oh no, like actually he's feeling safe, you know? And so it's been really awesome watching him open up in that way. Is Olaf comfortable playing? Oop, sent that as you're explaining. Oh, all good. That's the nature of how chat goes. So, yeah, he's comfortable playing now. And he's, it's so funny watching how he plays, because sometimes, for the most part, he's kind of seems a little bit reserved. But then, every now and then, he gets the zoomies, and it is crazy watching him just zoom around the house. Like, Violet doesn't even try and chase him because she would crash into so many things if she tried to chase him. But he will zoom around, and it's a trip to watch it. Oh, I feel like I'm maybe getting this part a little bit off. See, what did I do? Started kind of doing something. Oh no, I think that this looks, maybe I just have to adjust this, but otherwise that looks about right. There's 2 edges there. But yeah, when he starts zooming around, it is so funny to watch. He becomes like a race car driver, and suddenly my entire house is his racetrack, and but he doesn't crash into things or break anything. And thankfully, I already don't really have a whole lot of stuff that would be within his reach anyways for him to break, because it's already 70-pound dog proof, you know? So he just has a ball with it. That looks pretty good. Now what's going on with this side? Kind of looks like there's gonna be something there, and then maybe like rivets or something right here. I think if I am seeing this right, it's like it's got an interesting shape going on here. That seems mostly right, but I think I could shimmy this on over and it would fit a little bit better. Yeah, I like that placement a little bit better. Yeah, alright. Zoomy crashes are real. Yours tries to take out your blanket ladder display every chance she gets. Dude. Oh my gosh, I bet that is at least blanket ladder. Hopefully there's not other things that it could break, and thankfully at least there's just blankets on the thing that she's trying to crash into, right? So like, hopefully it's not too bad. I saw this video for this, like, it's like a type of putty type of material that's meant for holding decorations in place on a table, and it's not meant to be permanent. Like, you have a candle that you stick to the table with this stuff, and like you could take the table and turn it upside down and the stuff stays in place. But if you wanted to remove it, you can still like shimmy, I think you like rotate it to get it off, and it doesn't leave any damage. I saw this kind of stuff and was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Museum putty, so that's what it is. Okay. And that makes sense for how they display stuff, right? In a museum, that you gotta be able to do stuff that is not permanent and not damaging to walls. So that makes a whole lot of sense. But yeah, that stuff, I saw it recently. I was like, oh, that'd be cool if I maybe one day get a foster animal that is a bit more chaotic than the one that I have currently. So far, I haven't needed it, because I haven't even needed it for Violet with how she ends up playing. So I just saw it though, and I was like, oh, that's something to keep in mind. Oh, there's plenty of things to destroy. Rip. Well, here's to you and to hoping that Kettle doesn't break too many things. Huzzah, I guess. I don't know what to say after that. I keep thinking of huzzah anytime I cheers, by the way, because it was Scrunch's like word of one particular wasteland that he kept saying huzzah to like almost anything that someone would say to him. And it started off not on purpose. He just happened to kind of say it, and then he just kept saying it. And then a lot of the rest of our tribe chimed in with saying it too, and then it became a thing that year that we were all saying huzzah any chance we got. And now I can't. I think about that often. He hasn't, ever since that one particular wasteland, he hasn't said it nearly as often. And I don't know what it was with that year that compelled him to say huzzah so often. It also wasn't even just for, it wasn't just for, like, cheersing. Huzzah is a general cheers or greeting. Yeah, so it wasn't even just for, like, cheers or greeting. I felt like he was saying it just for, like, sometimes out of place, but also so beautifully, like, in place at the same time, if that makes sense. Like, it was just so prevalent in his vernacular that year. I think, like, he would even say it, like, whenever he'd enter a new, like, area. Which I guess it works as that's a greeting, right? I don't know. It just, it brings a smile to my face every time I hear it now. Okay, I feel like I'm spending a lot of time on this mouthpiece thing here. I'm gonna move on. That's good enough for now, because this is ultimately just a sketch, question mark. It might end up being an overlay or something with the final piece, but I don't quite know yet. I say this as I end up going back to the mouthpiece because I noticed an issue that's now bothering me. I swear I'm gonna move on from it. It's just gotta tweak one more thing. Alright, that's still not what I want. I want something more like that. Alright, I'm moving on. Let's see. This guy's got some cool textures going on in his chest. Maybe I want to take a look at that. So then there's at least 3 thrusters around his kit. Looks like, I guess, on left and right hip and on his back by his tailbone. This song sounds mean. I love it. Okay, let's see. So I'm probably gonna have to end up tweaking that. I don't like this silhouette as much. Oh, and also, as I go along with doing these Fallout cryptid tarot cards, just throwing this out there for anyone in chat that might be thinking it, but you maybe don't want to, throw any ideas out there. I just want you guys to know that I am, even though I have all this stuff written down, right? Like what I was showing earlier of what I think each cryptid would be with the tarot cards, even though I have this all written down like this, please feel free, if you have an idea of like what one particular cryptid or beast or even robots, I'm adding robots into the mix here, like assaultrons and stuff, feel free, if there's an idea that pops into your head of being like, ooh, this cryptid would be this card, right? Feel free to let me know. I want to welcome stuff like that, because I could always change what each one of these, like, whatever their placement is, I guess, for them. I'm just kind of, I went and assigned a bunch of them just after looking at what I think they would be, but not all of them are set in stone. So just throwing that out there for in case anyone has that has an idea that pops into their head. And also, same goes for if you're curious of like what cryptid I've associated with what card, feel free to ask me that too. Because I have it all written down, and so I don't mind sharing. But as we go along, I'll kind of like be like, oh, what is this card? Like, oh, I've put it down as this one. All right, cool. And then get into it. Like, for example, Flatwoods Monster here, which I guess I'll show the actual Flatwoods Monster. Flatwoods Monster here, I'm thinking is going to be the Empress. So one of the major arcana, I'm going to start with that. And I'm going to keep working through all the different cryptids and such. Oh, I'm so excited to like get through to the Deathclaw. I think it's gonna be so cool. I also, even with the tarot cards too, I've associated 2 different versions of the Mothman to 2 different cards, which I think is gonna be pretty cool. I have both the like regular Mothman with the red eyes as, let's see, as the Emperor, and then I have the purple-eyed wise Mothman as the Hanged Man. And I think that's pretty cool when I started looking into it some more, because apparently the wise Mothman with the purple eyes is much more docile than the red one. And I was learning a little bit about this, which I don't 100% remember the lore, so bear with me. But I think that my understanding of it is that there was a group that was split off from the original group that went on to choose to worship the wise Mothman instead of the red one, which I think is also called the Holy Mothman, something like that. Oh, I kind of like that. Oh, I wonder. Ideas. Last art stream, I was starting to mess with trying to find my own art style with things, and something that I've found that I really liked is when things have like a webbing type of effect. So like, say, adding extra lines there for that one line. Although this strictly isn't what it is that I'm going for, it's something that I was finding that I really like, so I think I'm going to play around with that. Let's see, so I want to capture the texture that's going on here. But yeah, given that it's Friday and it's at the end of most people's work week, does anyone have any fun plans for the weekend? I know that it's like, we got, at least up where I live, we got quite a bit of a cold front that went through, and some stormy weather, which I personally like when it rains and such. But we got a little bit of cold, and then now it's starting to warm up again. It's going to be a nice, beautiful weekend. You might try to paint some minis. Oh, heck yeah. What kind of minis are you going to paint? That's so cool. I think that just earlier today, Scrunch went thrift shopping. He went to a thrift store and got some stuff, and he said that he got some more minifigure paint, because apparently they had some where he was at, and so he immediately just snagged it for me. Oh, more working. Yay! What, you get to have more work as a treat. That sucks. I'm sorry. Sorry that sounds like such a fun weekend ahead of you. But oh, Bullet from the Dukes 3D printed your D&D group's characters, so you're going to attempt to make us look cool. Nice. Oh, that sounds so awesome. Bullet's 3D printing stuff is so freaking cool. I actually, speaking of, when the last time I saw him, he gave me this 3D printed Deathclaw, and it lives on my desk now. You switch. Oh, I keep going to the wrong screen. This 3D printed Deathclaw, which I wonder if my camera, it won't really do it justice, but it is glow in the dark. So freaking cool. I know that Chad and Valhalla, that you guys have seen it actually in person, but this thing is so cool. Eventually I want to paint it too, so actually it's like painted like a Deathclaw. I just haven't gotten around to doing that because, again, with having so many art projects, I'll get around to it. Oh, that's sweet. You were just about to ask if it glows. You have not seen it in person. Oh, okay. He gave it to me when we're at the New Year's party, for what it's worth. I think that he gave it to me randomly because I gave him tea. It's like, here's homemade tea. And he was like, oh, hang on. And then just like disappeared and like got me just a random thing. And he knows that I like Deathclaws. See, I was talking about earlier, I freaking love Deathclaws so much. And so he gave that to me, and it's been living on my desk because it's so freaking cool looking. That sounds like him, to be like, oh, hang on a moment, and just scurry off. Yes. Oh. All right, let's see. So I feel like I'm doing pretty decent with getting the details in on the Flatwoods monster. Wonder... Oh, you know, I could also mess around. Earlier I was talking about wanting to have like some type of effect, right? That goes outside of the frame. And so I think that I would have the purple, right? That's down by here. Like kind of go do a thing. I wonder if I could do... I mean, I could just add some more of the purple stuff up here too. It wouldn't make a whole lot of sense given how this character moves around, but maybe just for the aesthetic element of it, that I will add it up here and have something that makes it look interesting over there. Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. I should probably just keep focusing on all the little details that exist over here. So yeah, glad that it sounds like you have a fun weekend, Chad, for doing some minifigure painting. I hope that it goes well for you. You should absolutely send me photos of the minifigures that you're gonna be painting. Oh, you and Valhalla? Oh, we'll see. You've never painted before. You've never painted at all, or you've never painted minifigures before? Oh, what does this do? Oh, hey, the Tubby Goat. Thank you so much for the subscription. Welcome in. Never painted minis. Oh, I see all the hearts on the screen. Ugh. This is like low-key something that I love that I've set up on my stream, is the emote wall, and it has all the emotes that pop up on my screen. It's like such a small detail, but it's one that brings me joy anytime I see it, and so it's so neat. I love it. It's whimsical. You've never painted minis. Okay, well, best of luck to you with that. I've also never painted minis. I do like the paint for that this meant for minifigures, right? Because it's very, what's the word? Potent? Is potent the right word for that? It's very like dense with how like the color is able to be laid on to a thing. I wish it was closer within my reach, but I used minifigure painting or minifigure paint to make my Japanese Oni mask, which those that have seen me on or seen it on Instagram, I have an Oni mask that is kind of wastelandy-ish. It's mostly still like a Japanese aesthetic, but it's wasteland-ish. And I wanted to do that thing justice, and so I got some fancy paints for it. What's everyone thinking about the playlist that I have playing, by the way? Curious if you guys have what your opinions are, if you've noticed it or particularly have not noticed it. Like, what do you guys think? I'm messing around with adding different musical elements to my streams and stuff. That mask is so pretty. Thank you. Oh, dude, thank you. That mask, I hyper fixated on it for a while. I think like almost all day. With whatever day it was that I went and painted it, and that's all that I did that one day because I just could not set it down. I didn't want to. I just was like, this is what my brain wants to do right now. And I got that thing painted, and it was, thank you so much. I love that mask too. I want to wear it at Wasteland a lot more this next year. I think would be really freaking cool. So I was wearing it a decent amount actually at this past Wasteland, but I feel like I could wear it more and do, like, I want to wear my kimono at Wasteland some more too. And so, yeah, I think it'd be so cool. This thumb looks kind of broken. Why does your thumb look like that, sir? I don't know if I want to leave his thumb looking like that because it looks like the game is glitching out. I'm gonna creative liberty. I'm gonna change this because I don't like it. His thumb looks so broken. Let's see, maybe if I make it so it does like a this kind of thing. I feel like that looks better. Before that just looks so wrong. Let's go with that. And see how this ends up looking. So, I mean, even though this is a game screenshot, just the game can sometimes glitch too, no matter what you do. Let's do something like that. Oh, also, I see. I might have missed the second get hydrated earlier. I'm gonna drink water now because I'm seeing it. But oh, and the background music is a great addition to my stream. Nice, thank you. I'm glad that it's a nice touch. And honestly, that's thanks to Valhalla and Chad, you guys, for mentioning it. I think that having music is a real good touch to my streams. Which, speaking of, I kind of want to go into there. There's, by this one artist that I've been playing, he has different genres of music. And I kind of want to mess around. Right now we're in the hip-hop playlist. I feel like I could go for some rock. I want to see what he's got going on for the rock music. Alright, so we're going to give this a go. I'm going to switch it up a little bit here. I want to see what his rock music is all about. But yeah, the music, by the way, that I'm playing is made by this guy called Harris Heller, which I think he has a YouTube channel by that same name. I don't know for sure. But he went and made streamer-friendly music. That was actually, that specifically didn't suck. Streamer-friendly music that didn't suck. And that's what I've been playing a lot. I've played some of his music before, actually, with anytime any of my streams I've played music in the starting bit of streaming in a certain night, and then also with whenever I'm winding down, or if I go on like a little pause, little break, I play his lo-fi playlist. So this is the same artist that's making the hip-hop music that we're just listening to, and then also now the rock music that we're listening to. I like it. Oh, what is going on with this hand? I kind of see what's going on. But yeah, I think that this stuff is really cool with what he's been doing with making streamer-friendly music, so he didn't have to deal with copyright issues. So there's like kind of like a this, and then like a this. He goes like and does that. Okay. I feel like this song in particular, it gives me anime intro vibes. And then now this is where the title appears. Hey, what is going on with this guy's hand? What is up with your hand? I think I gotta tweak it over here. You were thinking the same thing with it being it felt like an anime intro. Yeah, it gave me that type of vibe. Absolutely anime vibes. You're just about to say, right, okay, I'm glad that I wasn't the only one too. Like it absolutely sounded like that. Which I'm gonna bump up the volume on it just a smidgen, because I think that will be good. Makes it a little bit more noticeable. Not that it wasn't before, but let me know if the audio levels are still doing alright, or if it seems like the music's a little too loud now. Let's see, let's go ahead and do... Yeah, make this guy's weird looking hand, which maybe it's extra weird because his thumb looks so broken right there. No, that's not, that doesn't feel right. What's going on? Your glove has a crease here, another crease here. Okay. So maybe we do like that. Yeah, okay, that's looking a little bit better. And down into the wrist, which, I don't know, buddy, your wrist also looks kind of broken. Looks a little bit broken there, but I guess your wrist, it exists. It's there somewhere. Alright, and then we'll just kind of make some folded fabric up in here. Yeah, alright. That's decent. But yeah, how's everyone's week this week? Hopefully things weren't too chaotic for a lot of you. I know that my week has been pretty nice, actually, even though we had the cold front that I was mentioning earlier. The cold wasn't too bad. It didn't kill my plants that I have outside. I know I was worried about that for a little bit because I had just planted stuff, and I know that like I'm chancing it a little bit with having another frost, but I'm hopeful that we won't have another frost, so I went and planted stuff, and so I'm glad the stuff that I planted looks like it's doing all right. I didn't just end up dying, or I didn't end up just losing and dying it, or losing it and having it die on me immediately. So I'll take that as a win. And also with this week, I've been working so much on like trying to bring this idea to life, which for those that maybe weren't here at the beginning of stream, I'll show it off again too, that I like went and made a bunch of copy pastes of some of the beasts that I'm gonna start with. This is like mostly the first 2 pages of it, so a lot of these are gonna be the major arcana that will be in the tarot deck, and then some of them were just ones that I started adding in, which I think is this is gonna be a good place to start, with having the major arcana done first, and then like be so freaking cool to turn this into a full tarot deck. That's the goal, but also like it's gonna be 70 cards, 70 something cards in a full deck. It's gonna take me a bit of time, but I'm feeling the push to do so now, so I think that I can see it through to the end. Oh, I like this song too. It's kind of got a calm melody to it. What's going on with this guy's arm? I think I could maybe shift it. I think my original sketch is a little bit off. Oh, let me just redo this. Get most of these lines out of here so that I can just start without them interfering. Okay. Your friend is growing strawberries in the parking lot at work. They're so tasty. So weather has been great this week for them ripening. Nice. Oh, that's so awesome. Oh, dude, I love being able to grow, having berries like freshly picked off the vine is so whimsical and such an incredible feeling. I love it so much. I just started getting, I got a couple of strawberry starts myself to see if I can get them to thrive, because I've tried to start strawberries from seed, and I don't know what it is that I'm doing, but I end up losing them each time, like when they're young, and I have not been able to keep them alive. And so I went and got a couple of strawberry starts that somebody else got to, you know, got to, you know, make it to adulthood for the plant, so that way it can go on and produce strawberries. And so I'm hoping that I can keep these ones alive, and given that they're strawberries, they will hopefully send off runners, and I can just keep getting more and more strawberries and just keep planting them that way instead of trying to start them from seed, which apparently was not working so well when I was trying to do so. They are sponges. They need so much water in the beginning. That's what I heard. And the like seed packet says to keep them moist but not soggy. And so I felt like I was doing that. I was watering them often. I was making sure that they weren't like overwatered. I was trying to keep it so the soil stayed wet, and like I don't know what I did. They weren't happy with something that I did, and so I ended up losing like I had like maybe a dozen of like little tiny baby starts, and specifically they're alpine strawberries, which I thought looked so cool. So for anyone that has seen maybe if you don't know what alpine strawberries are, they're like a yellow golden type color. I had those, and I want to be able to grow them, but I haven't been able to start them from seed. And the strawberry plants I have now, they're not alpine strawberries. They're just your typical red strawberry. I forget what the name of the variant was, but I got those plants instead. Unmatched to store-bought. You remember picking raspberry and blackberries in your yard as a kid? Oh, nice. So nostalgic. That sounds so awesome. Oh, unmatched to store-bought. Absolutely. Anything that you grow in a garden at home, like will be unmatched. One day, I want to have a farm even. That'd be so cool. Have enough property and enough garden beds to be able to grow a whole bunch of things. But I remember speaking of just like unmatched to store-bought, I remember distinctly uh-oh. Sorry, the puppy just fell. Are you okay? Okay, he's fine. He just took a little tumble out of my lap. Ah! Ah! That's very fitting, given what just happened. I feel like if he could scream, he would have been screaming just then, but he seems fine. I think that he fell asleep and then just kind of rolled. He's a little shooken up about it. You okay, buddy? Yeah. You want to come back up here? He's gonna think about it. What was I just... Oh, I remember distinctly that I used to not like tomatoes at all. And I thought that it was just going to be a thing for all tomatoes. And then I grew my own tomatoes for the first time. This was like several years ago. And I tried one, just like a raw tomato. And I found that, I was like, holy crap, this is actually delicious. Screw the store-bought stuff. Like, this stuff is actually really good. And I haven't looked back since. Because now I want to grow everything myself because it's probably going to taste way better. And also, yeah, you remember picking raspberry and blackberries in your yard as a kid? Dude, that's so magical. I love that for you so much. Oh, you hope I get a good strawberry plant? Yes, be sure to show us your haul when you get there. Oh, nice. Yes, I will. I'll show you guys whenever I get to having a couple strawberries. By the way, the little man is back, and I think he's okay. Yeah, you took a little bit of a tumble, huh? Yeah. Poor thing. I think that he's just a little bit just like disoriented. He's like, I don't know what the heck just happened. Plants are so dramatic. They'll be like, it's windy today. I guess I'll just die. Yes. That's... Yeah. Especially some specific plants, depending on the variant. Oh my gosh, I swear. They just... Like, one little tiny, like, something is off, and the whole plant is just like, nope, can't do it. I refuse. I will not do it. I cannot work under these conditions. And then that's the end of the plants, right? Gaviota strawberries. If I ever have the opportunity to try, those are hands down the greatest strawberries to ever exist. Okay. Gaviota strawberries. Let me see. I'm going to write that down now so I don't forget it. So I will have to check that out. So that's one of your favorite variants of strawberry? That's cool. I guess I don't know what kind of strawberries I would like, or what would be my favorite variant. I just really I was taken by the alpine ones because they were yellow. And that's it. That's all it was. So I believe you with Gaviota strawberries. Those are the best strawberries to ever exist. Heck yeah. I will look into getting myself a plant. And then, oh my goodness, same. Your niece was growing a cherry tomato plant when she was like 8 years old, and you hated tomatoes. You tried hers, and you loved them again. Dude, right? Like, it's... I don't know what it is with the store-bought tomatoes. They just do not cut it. You gotta try growing a tomato yourself and eating that tomato. Oh, sending hugs to the little baby dog. Yes, I know. It was a little bit of a tumble, but I think that he recovered well. He's back in my lap now and he's getting some loves, so. Now he's stretching and he's looking at me. Oh, he's so sweet. You hated tomatoes for most of your life until you got one of those ugly butt tomatoes from the farmer's market and it changed your entire perspective. I feel like the uglier the tomato, the better they'll taste. Oh gosh. Hopefully this guy can get comfortable in my lap. He looks comfortable-ish, but I think that he's a little bit worried now that he's gonna fall again, so we'll see. I think he's gonna do all right though with where he's laying now. So Gaviota, yes, the king of strawberries. Yes, dude, I will have to see if I can get my hands on some of those. At least, like, with the strawberry specifically, I'll have to go to some farmers markets and see if I can find them. But I also keep an eye out for the plant and see if I can get my hands on that. See, I want to get this. I feel like that. Yeah, this needs to be more like this. Okay. But what other, do you guys, is anyone in chat tonight? Do you guys have any fun gardening ventures you've been doing? If you if you're the type that has a green thumb like me, or even a hopeful green thumb like me, what kind of stuff are you guys growing? So I got a bunch of stuff started recently that I'm really excited about, and I've made I've shifted my priorities, I guess you could say, to trying to grow more hardy type of like Asian greens and Asian like salads types of plants, you know, hoping that they'll survive a little bit better near where I live. Hence why, like, even though we got kind of close to a frost, I didn't end up losing a lot of my stuff because of that reason, that I'm kind of prioritizing plants that will do a little bit better in near where I live than what I've been trying to do in the past. Because I feel like before I'd have to do like a lot. Like I'd have to bend over backwards to try and keep some of these plants alive. Whereas these ones, I've been leaving them outside and not bringing them in when there's a hint of a chill, you know. And they've been so far so good. They've been hanging on and actually thriving out there. And so I'm really excited. Some of the Asian greens they seem really interesting. You're very late on planting your reapers. You're supposed to plant them in March. I wonder what would happen if you try and plant them now though. Like, is it super important to plant them in March? Like, what if you like went and planted them like now? It's like March is just barely past. Would there be any harm in it? I know that you've planted a lot more peppers though than what I have. But I don't know, I feel like my type of gardening tends to be that of like, I don't know if this is gonna work out super well, but I'm gonna like try. Or like if it's not like exactly the season to be planting it, but like, I don't know, I'm gonna see if it will take early. A lot more fucketh around, findeth out with how I've been gardening. Which, I mean, makes sense why I'd end up losing some things. But I also end up making some fun discoveries along the way about like, oh, like things that actually I can plant like way earlier than I thought I could do, and they do just fine out where I live. You're not sure they are temperamental with the heat. Really? Temperamental how? Even though they're Reaper peppers, like they are sensitive to the heat, or I guess yeah, it'd probably mean like that they're sensitive to the heat. Because I would have thought that they are kind of like heat loving. You're still monitoring a snake plant you found in the trash, the only thing you've kept alive in the last 5 years or ever. I am rooting for your your trash snake plant. I think that you got this to keep it alive. And also, snake plants are so pretty. I'm glad that you found one and that you've been keeping it alive. Like those plants, I think they're also kind of like difficult, a little bit more difficult to kill, right? Those tend to be easier-ish to keep alive? Question mark? I don't know. I feel like it's a common go-to for people who also have that same issue of keeping houseplants alive. I'm one of those people. Even though I have a garden for vegetables and stuff, I cannot seem to keep houseplants alive for whatever reason. I can do a decent job with vegetables and fruits and such, but I don't know, man. Houseplants and I just don't get along. That would make a cool ink tattoo. What, this thing that I'm working on right now, or did I say something else that you're referencing here? Because this also would make a cool ink tattoo, if this is what you're talking about, Cypher. I'm liking how this sketch is turning out. I wonder... I'm thinking that there's gotta be some type of approach that I take to it, where I keep the pencil marks, like, I keep them there when I start to go art it up. I still want it to have... I kind of want to go in and paint it a little bit, but I want it to also have that like pencil charcoal aesthetic. Let's see. It would make for inspiration to the imagination for us drawers. P.S. You're a good farmer yourself. Yep, both. Nice. Let's see, and then I think I'm missing a couple messages. Let me catch up. Oh, and then Chad said they are also sponges, so the heat dries them out. I see. So they also need a lot of water. But then if they end up being dried out, then that's probably why then you're saying that you wanted to start them in March. Are you thinking that you're gonna start them even though it's April and just see? Because I know that you do a lot of stuff with your Reaper peppers. You leave her outside in water weekly and she's doing pretty great. Nice. You've learned that you need to ignore plants. I think that's something that I had to learn too, is that like sometimes it's good to ignore plants. Like, because otherwise you might end up overwatering them, which is also not good. Same as underwatering them. So there's like a certain level of ignoring a plant that is healthy. And it sounds like you found that. You might throw them in your hydro garden to compensate for the late start. Oh, nice. You have a hydro garden set up? That's awesome, dude. I've been wanting to look into making some type of like hydroponic, or like, what is it? There's another word for it and I'm blanking on it now, but some type of system like that would be so freaking cool. But yeah, I guess I didn't realize that you have a hydro garden set up. So are you gonna go try and throw them in now? Do you have other stuff that's growing in that garden? You just have a little one, but it's a fun set it and forget it starter. Nice. The peppers specifically are a fun set it and forget it starter. I think that you should do that. I think that would be... I'm curious. Even though it's now into April, I wonder if you could get your Reaper peppers started. Which, speaking of peppers, I even have... I have 2 pepper plants now. One's the jalapeno plant, and the other pepper, I don't know what it is. I got it from my aunt, and I'm sure I could just ask her what this other pepper is, but I haven't seen it produce peppers yet till recently. I finally started to get flowers on it, and so I'm very excited to see what comes of that one. See what's going on with this bit of fabric. So he's got something that comes up here. There's something like this. Oh, that's not quite right. We'll leave it like that. That is mostly right. I got a piece of fabric that goes over here. Kind of like that. Kind of more so like this. Kind of more so like this. Okay, yeah, that's how the fabric works on this. Okay. Cool, 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 cool. Let's see. You're doing a test. You picked dandelions, the puffy seed ones, and threw those in a pot. If you kill those, you're doomed. To be fair, dandelions, I think they grow pretty easily, but I think that there is still like somewhat of like a element to growing them. I'm now blanking on it. I thought that I would remember because I had a whole lead up for it and everything. But I started some dandelions by seed earlier this week too, actually. And like something about the seed packet said that it like that to like improve your germination rate, you have to do certain things. And even I thought it was so strange. It's like dandelions grow like crazy. And with ease, like they'll fight their way through concrete to grow. Why is there this like mention on the seed packet of like you may not have as much success with it unless like you do like these other things to help with the like with them growing? And I thought it was so odd. So like I'm just giving you like something else to, I guess, keep in mind. Is like even if you do kill these dandelions, Valhalla, not all hope is lost. Because listen, there's apparently something about it. I saw it on a seed packet once. Without getting too nerdy about it, transplanting them from the hydro garden into soil root shocks them, and they don't always survive, and then you're hosed. Oh wow. I guess that makes sense. I didn't think that would be a thing, but that makes sense that it would shock them, that the transition would be too much. So if you start your pepper plants in your hydro garden, do they just live in the hydro garden for the foreseeable future? Because I know that pepper plants, you can keep them alive, right? They're perennial, I think. And then you can keep them alive and keep having harvests. So would that be the approach that you have for these? Or do they not, or am I misremembering that they're not actually perennials and that they're actually annuals? Oh please, they grow through concrete? Yes. Dude, they pretty much grow through freaking concrete. It's insane. Dandelions will survive the apocalypse. Roaches and dandelions. That's it. That's all you get. You get roasted rad roaches, and you get dandelion tea, and that's it. That's your dinner. So yeah, you can just leave them in the garden, but eventually they outgrow the system that you have. They grow into huge bushes. Oh wow. They can live. Oh, but they can live. They can just, oh, they can live in the garden. I see. A typo, sorry. No, it's all good. My brain will sometimes struggle with placing the, like, where the typo is in a sentence, especially when I'm live. Like, it's just like a little bit of like a interesting thing for like the brain, the back of the brain, like to think of, being like, oh wait, all right, I'm also live and I'm trying to like read and do a thing, you know? So bear with me, it's just a little brain lag. But that's, so eventually they outgrow the system that you have. I see. Specifically with the hydro garden system, or just the like system that you have in place for your garden in general? Have you grown peppers in a hydro garden before? I'd be curious about that, because I have not heard of such a thing. And I hope that it pans out well for you, because shoot, that sounds so freaking cool. See, this guy's fabric is kind of doing an interesting thing, and I want to try and replicate said interesting thing, because it looks interesting. That works. That's a good start. Alright. You've grown bell peppers in your hydro garden? Oh, nice. Heck yeah. How'd that turn out? Did you get a good harvest from it? Which, speaking of with the peppers, I mentioned earlier, I have the jalapeno plant, which, dude, those jalapenos were so freaking good. I got like a lot of them. I had many bowls of pho with the jalapenos, and it was glorious to get me through the winter months. Especially with, like, I got a flu. Oh, I like the song. Sorry, I got distracted because I heard the shift in the music. Is it just me, or is this a cover? Is this a cover of something? I recognize the beat, I think. Is Backstreet Back? Is that what this song is? Yeah, the song sounds like something you've heard before. That's what I'm trying to piece together too, is it sounds like something I've heard. It says just artist block reprise instrumental. Oh, I think I've gone off of my stream friendly playlist, by the way. I should change that. I see that didn't end up sticking to this guy's playlist like I thought it was going to. Let's go back over this way. Hopefully I don't get a copyright thingamabob. Let's see, what was up with that playlist? Oh, it was a very short playlist. Interesting. This one's a much longer one, so hopefully then I'll stay safe this way. Y'all, we're back again. You've grown, let me catch up a little bit. You have to top them constantly so they grow wide instead of tall, but bell peppers also grow into a massive bush if you leave them. Yeah, jalapeno plants grow like 20 peppers per plant. Yeah, that's what I was finding when I was with this like latest batch that I got. You're typing the lyrics. I gathered that I pieced the puzzle pieces together. I'll admit that even though like I know the Backstreet Boys, obviously, like who doesn't, but I'm terrible with lyrics. We'll see what that ended up doing with having the playlist deviate like that. Hopefully everything ends up being fine. Let me just double check something with this new playlist. Yeah, this one is absolutely fine. There's almost 300 songs in this playlist, so we are golden. But yeah, the jalapeno plant, I was so impressed that it had such a big harvest to it. And I'm really curious with this other plant that I have. I don't know what kind of pepper it is, but what I do know is that I went and I topped it when I first got it, and immediately it started to just thrive, and like it bushed out, like it like had all the like healthy looking leaves just so quickly. And I didn't think that it would do that. Like I thought that maybe it would be like a little bit sad or something. I don't know when I first did that, but it seemed to like that. And then now it's got a lot of flowers forming on it, so I'm excited. I think Scrunch right now has this Scotch bonnet tequila that he has been he's been offering to friends and such, just for funsies. Just has it. He didn't make it, but he somehow acquired it. And dude, that stuff is insane. You think that I'll be okay? It was like an 8-bit ringtone style version of the song. Okay, good. Thank you, our resident Backstreet Boy, what is it, expert over here. Thank you. I appreciate it. Normally, I think when it comes to my stream stuff, I'm really on top of it with making sure things are stream friendly, you know, with all the silly laws and stuff you gotta follow, those darn laws, with like copyright and all that. So I think that I'm hoping that we'll be all right. It's not like it played like actual like big name music. So at least there's that. You resent that statement, the following the silly laws. What did I say? I said words. But yeah, I think that. Oh, you resent. Oh. The Backstreet Boys expert. Yeah, listen, between you and me, you are the expert now. You knew a lot more of the lyrics than I did. Okay? So. I don't even know where I'm going with that. I just want it to be like a little sousson of spicy. That's it. That's all the spice that you get from me tonight. Otherwise, we're talking about jalapenos and stuff. And Scotch bonnet. Wow. Wow. Did you just wow me? Oh my gosh. Okay, I feel like the fabric and stuff here is interesting, but like me sketching it out, this is like the part of the drawing that's like, trust the process. It looks kind of ugly right now, but you gotta trust the process. Trust me, it's gonna look pretty one day. Eventually. It will look better than what it's looking like right now. But I just need to be able to understand how this stuff all works together, and then I can make it all beautiful. But first we start with the ugly phase. I think that's something as an artist that took me so long, as I'm sure it does with any artist, to get over the, what is it, like the feeling like you need to get it right, like faster, make the art piece look how you want it to faster. And like when you're trying to like deal with trying to get through the ugly phase, it can be kind of frustrating, which thankfully I feel like I've gotten through that type of mindset, which is nice. But it is now just like a thought still of being like, I'm in the ugly phase of a drawing. But you just gotta keep going. And eventually it'll not be so ugly. The thumb looks much better, by the way. Yeah, that's what I feel like. It looks much better that way. It makes more sense. And I really do think that it was just like tiny bit glitched in the reference photo. Because, like, can you imagine if you get this as a tarot card and I left the thumb like that? It would feel jarring. So I think that this was a good decision to move it like that. You think we were talking about this in my stream before, about the painters that slop paint all over a canvas, and then in 50 hours it's a gorgeous rippling ocean scene. Takes time. Dude, it's yeah, it takes so much time, and you have to get through that ugly phase of it. And absolutely, like, they just like throw paint on there and like they keep working at it like hour upon hour upon hour, and then by the end of it you're like, holy crap, was that even the same painting? Like, how did you get to this point? Like, it looks so cool. You just gotta get through all the rest of it to get to that point. And I think that, like, this sketch is not actually looking too bad. I know I keep saying, like, I was saying that it's in the ugly phase of the drawing, and it, like, is, technically, but it's not looking too bad, actually. I mostly just want to get the sketch done, so that way, whenever I do start messing around with adding all the rest of the elements to it, I'll be able to make more sense of, like, how this character's outfit works and how everything kind of moves together. So then from there I can beautify it, you know, into my style. I think that's looking pretty good. I think also what's been really nice with working in Procreate on the iPad is that I finally, like, I feel like I was kind of stuck with the types of brushes that I was using, and so I went and I got a bunch more brushes and started actually messing around with the different types of brushes that were already in the app to get to the to get to like a brush that I actually like more, and the way that I like it to work and do its thing in the app, you know? And I came across this one, which is just the basic, it's just the 6B pencil. But I found this, like, oh shoot, like I should just draw with this because I actually like the way that it feels a lot more. See, I don't like how I did this. Go back. I like the trumpets in this song. Yeah, I think that's a good shape. I don't know what's going on. It's like he's got... It's like there's metal bits down here. Like, not quite pants, kind of similar to his apparatus on the back. Yeah, this definitely looks like metal. Alright, I'll try and treat it like metal down here. But yeah, I know I keep saying this, but I'm gonna say it again. I cannot wait for what this project ends up looking like when it's all said and done. Because, like, I've been so excited about this idea. I think I've mentioned it on stream before, and I think that some people that are here today in chat have heard me talk about it. Of like, I'm so excited about this idea. I think it's gonna be so cool. And I have several projects going right now, by the way. Just a little brief, I guess, about all of them is that I have this one for the tarot card deck, right? And then I also am working on uh, armor designs of all the of a few different cryptids. So like the Scorch Beast, the Deathclaw, stuff like that. Taking the beast and turning into like a wearable set of human armor, similar to how Monster Hunter does their look. And so I have that project, and I have a couple of other ones too that I'll be getting to. And it's just, I'm so excited. We're all excited too. Nice. Well, thank you. I'm glad that you guys. I'm liking these art streams, especially with playing the music like what I've been doing this stream. It's been really nice. And I think that pushing myself to do these streams every week on Fridays is gonna be what I need to push me in the right direction. Costuming with EVA film? Okay, so no, not right. I mean, I used to, but the costume design stuff that I'm working on is all gonna be concept arts stuff. I would love to take those drawings, which I'll go ahead and pull them up now since I'm talking about it anyways, but I'll switch to the screen while I go find them. I would love to cosplay some of these things that I have created, but I don't have the time. You know, I just don't have the time or the money to be able to do it. And so they're gonna live as concept art for now. But this is one drawing that I've made, and I think some of you have seen it, some of you haven't. Here is my Deathclaw design. I've done a much smaller version of this before, and then I went and created this design. I would love to cosplay this and bring this to life. I don't know when the heck I'm going to be able to do that. I've started it. It has been started as a costume. I have some of the pieces. I just don't know when I'm going to ever finish it. And then also same with like last stream I went and I worked on this concept for the Scorch Beast, which I'll grab this one instead to show like the base of it. I would love to bring these to life. But for now they're going to stay as concept art things that I've made. So this is the other series that I was mentioning with the turning into the armor concept, the Fallout armor concept stuff. And so one day. But for now, I do want to go and draw other armor concepts as part of that series. Those wings would be so sick IRL. Dude, right? Those wings would be incredible. I've even thought about like how like it would work. Like it's the concepts, because like I have the like costuming knowledge. I've taken that into how I have made those armor concepts and how I'm going to be making more of them for other beasts in Fallout. And I've thought about like, oh, how would those wings work? And like, oh, okay, actually, like this seems doable. Like if I put it like this, if I make this armor piece like that, like this all could work together, you know, in real life. I've had that in mind with how I approach those drawings. But anyways, let me switch on back over to my Flatwoods monster over here. Ooh. I like the way that this song also started up. Let's see, let's add the tank. I feel like we got a lot of the other details. I should get the tank in there. Oops. I feel like it takes up quite a bit of this guy's back. This song's got a lot of interesting elements to it. I like this a lot. I feel like I've overshot it with that line. Maybe if I do... No, I don't quite like that as much. That feels better. Yeah, I like that. I think part of what I really liked, I forget if I mentioned it earlier on in stream, but part of what I really like about the frame looking kind of like a Polaroid photo is it to me felt like cryptid hunter type stuff of like trying to, you know, take pictures of these elusive cryptids and trying not to be seen, or like trying to take a picture before the beast attacks or something. I really liked that aspect with adding in the frame in this way. I don't know if you guys, if that's also the vibe that it gives you guys, or like if that's what you can kind of pick up on with it, but that's part of my inspiration for making it the way that I did. And also, I'm thinking that with the... See, let me bring the opacity back up. With these little bits that are just like a orangey brown color to begin with right now, I'm thinking that whenever the card goes to print, that it would be that these would be gilded and like shiny. That's kind of what I was thinking. I think I want to mess around with some aspects of that with these cards still. So like, even though these are gonna be wastelandy and apocalyptic looking, I still want them to have some type of like gold leaf aspect, a gilded, something shiny to them, you know? Pop that back down. Yes, shiny. I know, that would be, it'd be cool, right? To have little shiny details there. Yeah, I'm all about it. I think that would be cool, and I feel like I want to add other shiny aspects to it, but it might depend on each of the different cryptids. Like certain cryptids, I wonder if I have. I know I don't have anything drawn, but when I was going through and grabbing reference photos, there was a couple that made me think of interesting ways to bring in other type of gilded lines that would be specific to that card. Looking at the list, it's not jumping out at me, so I forget. It'll probably come back to me whenever I go and actually draw each of these things. But making unique gilded lines like that too, I think would be really freaking cool. We got that. Is there other aspects that I'm missing? I guess we could draw the lower part of the monster's body here. I'll have to look up other reference photos because I am kind of lost on what ends up happening down here. I want to get the details right. Or at least, not that I need the details to be there, but if there are interesting details, I'd like to bring them forward. Like these lines that go horizontally there, I feel like they're just interesting enough that I'd want to do something with them. Like make sure that like I, you know, go and like add them in. Like there's just like these little two lines right here. Like it just a random little detail that I feel like it helps bring it together, to give the eye more and more to look at. And so I feel like there's gonna be more stuff all up in there that could do that too. Okay. Let's see, what is going on with the back piece, the apparatus over here? Oh, those look interesting. I feel like those... Let's see. I feel like those are kind of tube-like. Oops, let me hit that. They're like kind of tube-like. So bring this line down like that. And I'll have to mess around with the shape of this because it's not totally lining up. Because it's got, let's see here. How does this thing work? It's like there's an opening. It does something like this. It's like some type of weird pillowcase that he's got on his back. I'm sure it's not a pillowcase at the heck all, but it like kind of looks like it. Oh, maybe if I do this. Okay. I feel like this song is very fitting for this character. Kind of got like an alien vibe to it. The song. For this guy who's definitely got alien vibes. Okay. All these lines stay kind of parallel with each other and they kind of do something like that. Yeah, that seems right. Okay, and then what is going on with these thingies? They absolutely look like that. It's got like a, oops, got like a tube type of thing that comes out, but then it's cut short and cut into the shape of, like the rounded shape of the backpack, and then it's got a rounded exterior, kind of something like this. I think that looks just about right. Even, oh, he's just taking a nap while you draw. The monster. For a second I was like, the puppy? The puppy's absolutely still in my lap taking a nap. But I should remember now that I said that this is pillow shaped, so the Flatwoods monster is taking a nap while I draw. He is. It doesn't look like a very comfortable pillow because it looks like it's all metal, but it still looks kind of like a pillow to me. It's like a cyberpunk pillow that's meant to be uncomfortable for whatever reason, because everything in a cyberpunk future, a cyberpunk world looks uncomfortable. Vaguely. Like vaguely uncomfortable. Even just those 3 extra lines made it look more pack-like and less pillow-like. Yes, the 3 lines definitely made it look much more pack-like instead of pillow-like. At first, it definitely did look like a pillow, though. Okay. So let's get these other ones here. Because I feel like a lot of with me sketching all of these different cryptids, it's going to help me a lot to understand how they like what their design is and how the different aspects of their kit and of their, I guess, biology too, for like some of the cryptids, right, where they're like mutated mutated animals, their biology. It'll help me understand a little bit better how to draw each of them, because I don't know like how I would feel about drawing some of these animals and cryptids and beasts and stuff without fully understanding like all the different aspects about their design, you know? Let's see, I feel like that's a very vague way to put it. How do I words? I feel like in order to do it justice for each of these drawings that I make, I want to inherently like be able to understand how their design works and what is going on with it, because I don't know about you guys, but like I wouldn't want to look at a drawing that I felt like there's something like a little bit off to it. Like, not just like, there's one thing for it to have like the artist's personal touch, right? Like that's awesome. I would love to have that. That's great. But I feel like as a fundamental, I want to have that core understanding of like what the actual, like what the base design is first and foremost, and then add like more of my own type of flair on top of it, if that makes sense. And I think that that's why I tend to spend more time focused on like how, oh gosh, what happened there? And that's why I kind of spend more time focused on how each thing works, or like different aspects about a character's design. And that's like that's at least a me thing. And I mean, because we're mentioning it in the beginning of the stream tonight, someone had mentioned it at the beginning of stream, was that like, because that's a me thing and because it's something that I know that I like, then it's going to be a given that lots of other people also like said thing too, right? And so that's been my approach to a lot of the drawings that I do, especially things that are based off of another person's design. So like, say this creature being based off of someone else's design, based off of a game. I want to be able to understand it fundamentally first and then keep building on it. There are 8 billion people on the planet and only 7 human archetypes? Really? What is... You'll have to tell me more about that. What are the 7 archetypes that you are referencing? Also, does it have a name? Is it... 'Cause I know there's like lots of different tests for different like personality types and such. Oh my god, this song is about to... I thought the bass was gonna drop. But yeah, Chad, do tell more. What's going on with the guy's midsection? It's mostly just stating that if you have the thought or if you like something, you're not alone. Yes, that absolutely. That one I absolutely have been quite taken to lately as I've been getting older, of realizing that like, if I like something, if there's something that I'm drawn to, like, there's other people in this world that will also like said thing. Like, it'll be like someone's cup of tea because it's my cup of tea too, you know, and it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but it's going to be someone's cup of tea because I know that I like it and it exists in that way for me, and so it's got to exist in that way for lots of others too. And you're wrong. It's been updated and there are apparently now 12 archetypes. Okay, cool. I will have to look into that. Because I'm curious what that has to say, or like what the archetypes are, and learning more about that, and all of what is kind of within that. Your tea is my cup of tea. OMG, the best tea. Dude, I'm so glad that you like the teas that I make. For those that haven't, if you guys haven't heard whenever I've talked about on stream, I make my own tea blends. I've gotten very into tea making, and I make my own blends. I also bring stuff to Wasteland as Sun Tea, and I have actually, since we're working on Fallout stuff, I have Fallout specific teas that I think are just so good. And Valhalla, I forget, when I gave you tea, was it just the throat coat tea, or did I also give you some of the Fallout themed tea and the mother's milk tea? I forget, because I have that too. There's mother's milk tea, which is it's a mother's milk Thai tea. You're supposed to add your milk of choice to it. I typically go for oat personally, but I think a lot of Thai tea uses coconut milk. I think either that or sweetened condensed milk if you're to go the very American way with doing it. Which that's a lot. It's a whole lot of dairy. But yeah, I forget what kind of teas I gave you, Valhalla. I know I gave you the throat coat one, at the very least. Which that tea, oh, that stuff is so good. I know that especially with I've been having allergies recently. I've been going through my own personal supply of that too, because it's been such a freaking lifesaver. I gave you little packets, so you're obsessed with the throat coat version. You need to bug me for more. You can absolutely bug me for more. I have so much tea. I'll get you some more. And also for anyone that is watching, that if you're also a Wastelander, I also bring tea to Wasteland, and that stuff is available for barter. I do bring sun teas that are just already prepared and ready to go, that you can serve yourself. Some tea from there, but then I also have individual tea packets of all of my teas that I have at the cafe available for barter as well, so that way you can take it home with you and you can have some of the Wasteland tea outside of Wasteland, which I think it's kind of nice being able to still plan ahead in that way. So if you're feeling you're oh man, I'm missing Wasteland, you can still have some of the tea that, at least for me, because I do a lot of tea making stuff in general, that tea reminds me of Wasteland. It makes me think of Wasteland, so it's really nice being able to drink it outside of Wasteland, because it's such a Wasteland specific beverage for me now, because I make so much tea, and that's all that I'm drinking for a lot of the event is just all my tea blends that I've made. Have you thought about putting bee pollen in your tea? You heard that helps with allergies. Yes, local to the area you live in because of the flora. Yes, I have thought about doing that, and I do have some bee pollen that I add to teas every so often. To be honest, I haven't added it to a whole lot of cups of tea recently, but I should start doing that because the allergies have been hitting me hard. So I have heard of that, and that's really cool. I also, same thing with local honey too, which that stuff I have been using. I got a nice bottle of it for a decent price. Sometimes it can get kind of expensive. I got a nice bottle of it for a decent price, and I've been adding that to my teas recently. But yeah, do you find that helps you with your allergies, Valhalla? If you have allergies, that is. You find that it helps you? Because I've also heard that same thing from other people, that it's supposed to help. And I think that some people I've asked have said that it's helped them, but I don't know. I like still asking other people to see, to hear their take on it. Oops. So this guy's fabric here does kind of an interesting thing. Goes like that, and then this here. I feel like I'm getting a good capture of it. Yeah. Okay. Feel good about that. Go down this way. I think, oh, you know what? I think that's something I mentioned earlier, wanting to add more gilded details that were specific to each cryptid. And I think that it was this one because of the purple that is reflecting in different parts of the Flatwoods Monsters outfit here. That I was thinking, like, wouldn't that be kind of cool to make those parts kind of stand out more, make them a little bit shiny? Or maybe, oh, I remember, maybe even make a lot of the rest of the drawing more monochrome and then having more of a pop of color with adding the purple. That's what I was thinking of earlier. I couldn't remember it, but that's what came into my head when I was looking up reference photos. That's gonna be the approach that I take. More monochrome, pop of color. Let's see. Let's do that one. That looks something like that. Okay. I feel like I got a good foundation of like how this character's fabric and stuff goes. Your brother, serial OTC allergy consumer, military guy with the worst allergies of all time every year, got put onto bee pollen local to him and he swears by it now. Takes it like a daily medication. Okay. Heck yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad that it's helped him a lot because, dude, having severe allergies is like brutal. And so that's awesome that that's helped him with it. I love that. And so thank you for letting me know too that it's someone else that swears by it. Nice. I'll have to add that to my tea a whole lot more often. Have you added it to the teas that I've given you? I'm curious about it. Or do you drink bee pollen tea in general? Oh, you're talking eyes swollen shut every spring. Oh my god, those allergies are intense, dude. I can't even imagine having allergies that bad. That sucks. Holy heck. That sounds brutal. You do not have allergies like that. You got lucky with the genetics, you guess. Well, it's, you know, take the win when it presents itself like that, because those allergies that your brother has sound brutal. I know that like I have allergies too that like they're not anywhere near that level, thankfully. Like even though I have the allergies, they're manageable. Alright, so I feel like I think I'm at a good stopping point. I think I'm gonna switch on over. Which I always get the button wrong. There it is. Alright. I should mark the buttons on my keyboard for which one's which, but I have them set to do cool things like that. I can never remember which one is which. But I'm going to be starting to wrap up my stream for the night. And I just want to say thank you to all the people that came in and were lurking and hanging out in the stream tonight. Thank you also again to the Tubby Goat for the subscription. I'm glad that you like my content here and we love to have you, so thank you. And yeah, so this has been an awesome art stream. I'm really liking these art streams, and I feel like we're gonna be getting into like a better flow with it, with having this music playing and the approach that I'm taking to just kind of like chipping away at these projects that I've been working on. And so this has been freaking awesome. So thank you everyone for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it, and I'm glad. I appreciate all those that are lurking too. Even if you're not in chat and you're just lurking, I appreciate it no matter what, because people that lurk, those are the real the realest. And this just, I don't know, just thank you. That's it. That's all. I'm just expressing appreciation. So thank you. And you're just talking up bee pollen. You think if your brother relies on it and it works for him, it has to be a thing. You know what? With the allergies as severe as it sounds for him, yeah, that's huge. Like, that's got to be a big deal. So I'll try to do more of that, because I know that I already do have bee pollen. I just haven't used it in a lot of my teas. Don't know why, just haven't. But I'll be adding it to more and more of my teas. So thank you again. I appreciate having you guys here to hang out while I do art stuff. I'll be streaming on Sunday. We'll be doing a gaming stream. I don't know what I'm going to be playing. But then also, I forget what day I'll be going camping. So there may or may not be an art stream next Friday. I forget if my trip is next weekend or the weekend after. But if it's not next weekend, I will be doing another art stream. So stay tuned for that. We're going to be doing a whole lot more of these things. Egg game. Dude, you want more egg game? I want more egg game. We're going to play more egg game. Eggy. It's got to happen. There's eggs. Eggy. That egging, this is the game Egging On, by the way, is chaos. But
Eggy.
Eggs. Eggy. I think I'm going to have to play that game again, because that game is so much fun. Oh my gosh. Egging On is just chaos all the time. Dang, beat you to it. Chad was quick on that one. he like got that immediately. But yeah, so gaming stream Sunday. As I am getting into a better and better flow with these things too, I'm thinking I might start streaming more often. I might start popping on here and doing random streams. We'll see. I'm kind of thinking like maybe like if there's like a random night that I don't typically stream, like if it's something other than a Wednesday or a Sunday night, I'm thinking I might pop on randomly and play. Like, I might do that. So we'll see. I don't want to burn myself out on it. I'm like easing my way into how I'm doing my streams for a reason. And so, I don't know, just throwing that out there. But yeah, otherwise I'll see you guys all on Sunday. I hope that you have alerts alerts on yolks, folks. You tried. I appreciate the effort no matter what. You know what, dad jokes are like 50% the effort that goes behind it, so like no matter what, they're gonna be appreciated for the existence of effort in doing it, obviously. So I appreciate it. I hope you guys have a good rest of your night. Thank you for chilling with me while I'm doing art stuff, and I hope that you guys have a good rest of your night, and until next time, I will see you Sunday, right? Sunday. I'll see you guys Sunday. Have a good night.